Hello and welcome. I am Brianna and this is my life on paper, and I am playing along with series 11 of Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. This sketch is by Janet Fritz. And I started off the video by showing the wrong pictures, so I clipped that part off. These are by Ellie's Studio, and they just didn't really go with what I'm working with. So I have gold scraps. I have these stars by Creative Memories, and then I have all these stickers that are New Year's Eve, and they're Creative Memories as well. I am working with an old paper pad that had all different kinds of themes on it, and this is the New Year one. So I took my ruler so that I could tear along the line and get it right where I wanted it. 12 by 12 trimmer isn't long enough, so that worked out perfectly. And then I discover my pictures that I'm really using. So they are of my daughter and her friends New Year's Eve, and I have them in the 3x4 size. And then I have another piece of paper that came with that theme kit. So I am going to next trim that down so that it follows the sketch. So I just used my ruler to do the same thing. It just seemed to be worked well the first time, so I'm going to do it here. First I fold it just to make a little bend in the paper to make it easier to tear, and then I tear it. And it's not necessarily like the normal tearing technique. It gives it a nice clean edge rather than getting out my trimmer. So that worked good. Then I have my two pieces to mimic the sketch, and then I'm going to lay down my pictures. I like to put the one with the kids in the line just because it seems like it's the lightest picture, so I put that up on top. Then I cut out my gold circles. And one isn't going to be a complete circle, but that's okay because it's going to be peeking out anyway. I might have been able to use parts of circles for the other ones, but I just wasn't sure how much we're going to be sticking out, so I was happy to use those full circles. Then I need the pieces that go on the right part of the sketch, the right side of the sketch. So I cut out the polka dot ones right away. And then, oh, this says Hello 2022, and it's from Ellie's Studio. And I was trying to figure out how do I cover up 2022, and those got all those little words and just nothing fit on there. So I keep putting it aside. These stars from Creative Memories, I'm going to cut them apart because I want them on my 3 clusters. So it's important to remember you don't have to use things as they come. This was very easy change to take this one big chunk of stars and clip them into 3 little bunches of stars. That Happy New Year, that's from Ellie's Studio, and it just doesn't go. It's got a little bit of color on there, and I just kind of really wanted to stick with the gold, silver, and white and black. So then I decide this is going to be my title. It says Celebrate. So I trim that off. Not really sure where that's going to land, but I know I want to start getting things glued down. And I also have to make another piece to go on that right side with the polka dot strip. And I know it's kind of cut off short, so instead of getting my trimmer out, I creased it and then trimmed it to where I wanted it to be so that I could get a nice straight trim. And then I took my ATG to glue that down on the edge there. And it takes just a little bit of doing to get it straight. And then this black piece is just going to be another little sliver that you see on the sketch on the right side. So what I do is glue it down first and then get it to how I want it, and then I will I think I'm going to glue it to my paper first to give it some stability. You know, there's a method to my madness. Get it on the background paper first just to give it more stability, to make it easier to trim exactly where I want it. So getting that paper lined up straight, and then I'll take my trimmer to trim down that black piece of paper. Although I figure out you can't shove the whole thing in there because it's only going to trim 12 inches. So I do trim that down a little bit so that I can just go along the side there and get that black strip, the scraps off. There, so I've got that done. Now I got to get everything else glued down. So I glue down the polka dot paper over the top there and straighten it up to both edges. And next should be the pictures the gold piece, making my clusters. I want to remind you to check down below the playlist, everybody that's playing along with Christy's 30 days of sketches. There is a hashtag as well that you can click on to get everybody whoever's put the hashtag, I guess, on there. But there's a playlist that'll just keep playing along with everybody who's uploaded to that playlist. Here I'm just trimming off a little bit of the top. I usually print mine 2 3x4s to a 4x6 picture. So sometimes I don't get it trimmed off exactly, and that's what I was doing there. And I'm just getting them laid out so that they look like the sketch and they don't cover anybody up and it all makes sense. So Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life was joining her sketches is how I started off my YouTube channel in June of 2022. So in a couple months I'll be coming up on a year. It's a super fun hop because I love seeing what everybody else is doing with the same sketch. You can follow it closely as I'm doing. You can just take a little part of it to give you inspiration and go a whole different direction. Here I am taking the stars and I want the star, whichever star it is, to be completely on that color. So the little one is going to be on the black paper, whereas the big one is going to be mostly on the gold paper, and that's how I'm positioning them. You're going to see me do the same thing on the bottom here. I'm going to try really hard not to overlap anybody's face, and that's where I get a little bit hooked up here, but it does work. Then I'm going to make my journaling strips. So first I cut them in width, and then I'm going to cut them down. I think I'm cutting it down to about 3 inches. So then I'll cut them down in length. And it just, in the sketch, there's those 2 strips there. So that's what I'm doing, is doing the 2 strips. I'm going to encourage daughter number 2, who it is the picture of, with her friends to do just a little bit of journaling. My kids don't like to journal. My husband is a great journaler. I don't know. I don't know why that is, because the kids sure have enough to say. So it's not like they don't have anything to say about this page. But oh, there's also stars that was from that sticker sheet from Creative Memories. So that's what I'm getting down. I'm using lots of stars. And once those are down, then I can put on the journaling strips. I use a little bit of ATG, and then it's not holding it really well because I'm just using that little bit. So then I do go in with my liquid glue and make sure that that is nice and glued down there. I'm really liking how this is coming together with the black and the white and the gold and the silver. Here goes my title. I still wasn't sure where to put that, but I kind of wanted to tuck it in with that cluster there a little bit. It isn't touching, but there's some empty space on the picture there, which allows for that title to go there. Janet doesn't have a title per se, but I wanted to get one in there. So here I'm putting on what kind of look like enamel dots, but those are off the sticker sheet. And then I tried that Hello 2022 again, and it just doesn't work. So that is my completed layout. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out below everyone who is playing along in the playlist. And tomorrow I will be back with another video and another sketch. I hope you have a fabulous day. I'll see you tomorrow.